Hello and welcome to Dingoes Ate My Podcast. I'm Paul.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Justin.
And this week we're talking about the episode The Body, so get the Kleenex ready.
Get all the Kleenex ready. All of it.
Or a few.
Or like a few boxes. Anyway, this episode originally aired February 27th, 2001. Attracting 6 million viewers. Which is up about 900,000 from the previous week.
Yeah.
So I had you guys quickly watch the 30-second promo for this episode. What did you think of it, and what did you notice they didn't mention? Because there's a number of things.
For one, too much music.
Yes,
Two,
the audience became comfortable.
Yes. And for two, it didn't show or mention Joyce.
Nope.
Yeah.
They don't tell you, it's not like, this is the one where Buffy's mom dies. It's like, there's a body. Is basically all they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that their lives will be changed.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't tell you who.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love it.
If it's not obvious from everyone who watched the last episode.
Yeah, if you didn't watch Buffy, you'd be like, what? What's going on?
Whoa,
or if you missed a week or two, you'd be like, huh?
It's like, don't worry, you didn't miss much. Well, you did, but, I mean...
Oh, sweeties, sit down. You missed a lot.
Alrighty, let's get into the plot. Beginning where the previous episode left off, Buffy arrives home and sees the flowers sent by Joyce's new boyfriend. I think his name is Brian.
Yeah.
You need to give him a call.
She calls out to her mother and hears no answer. Buffy sees Joyce lying lifeless on the sofa staring at the ceiling. The credits appear over a flashback. This flashback was included because Joss Whedon didn't want to have the scene of Buffy finding her mother interrupted by credits at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, true.
To a Christmas dinner while the Scoobies were present. And Xander's about to vomit.
And there's no music for any part of this entire thing at all.
So there's no music in the entire episode because music has a way of calming the audience and making it feel like a TV show. The idea here was we want to make this as realistic as possible. Having a typical lighthearted conversation as Joyce and Buffy discuss a pie that drops on the floor. The scene snaps back to Buffy in the living room shaking Joyce and screaming at her. She calls for an ambulance and attempts CPR, accidentally snapping a rib in the process.
That was like all one shot.
Yes, it's like 7, it's like, I forget how long that one shot is, but it's so good.
Yes.
And it's not using a Steadicam, it's all handheld.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Screaming, but to no avail. Buffy calls Giles. The paramedics arrive and work on Joyce, and she revives. The paramedics declared a miracle in the ambulance, and Joyce, Buffy, and John rejoice in the hospital.
Yay!
Just kidding. The scene snaps back to the living room where the paramedics continue to work on Joyce until they stop and tell Buffy that Joyce is dead. Even though paramedics in California can't actually do that. Yeah. They leave and Buffy goes to the hall and vomits. Giles arrives and Buffy tells him not to move the body, shocking herself by using that word. At school, Dawn is crying in the bathroom, upset that a girl called her a freak. In art class, she talks with the boy as they sketch, and the two share a moment of understanding about being troubled, because Dawn had the whole wrist thing.
Yeah, she cut herself in an episode a while ago.
With that, yeah.
Buffy arrives and pulls Dawn out of class into the hall. Through the windows of the art room, the class watches Buffy tell her that Joyce has had an accident. The rest of the conversation is muffled, and Dawn collapses in the hall sobbing. Now we get to the best scene of the episode.
Yep, everyone else's reactions.
Yeah, when, we have everyone else that is not, directly related to Buffy, but all of her friends.
Yes. So, in Willow's dorm room, Tara tries to help Willow find a shirt to wear. Xander and Anya arrive and double park. Just try to let them give me a ticket. Willow panics, rejecting shirt after shirt, not knowing how to appear for Buffy and Dawn. She asks why all her clothes are stupid and she is childish, weeping until Tara kisses her and calms her. That's important. We're going to get back to that moment later. Anya asks Xander what she is supposed to do. He cannot answer. Willow changes her shirt again, and Xander expresses his desire to find glory and exact justice. Then complains about Joyce's negligent doctors. Anya asks if they will see the body, then if the body will be cut open. And Willow responds angrily. Anya tearfully says that she does not understand how to behave or why Joyce cannot simply get back into her own get back into her own body, unable to understand human death. She states that this is all stupid and mortal, and no one will tell her why things are happening. Xander puts his fist to the wall, making him bleed, but feel oddly better. As group leaves to visit Buffy at the hospital, Xander gets a parking ticket. In the waiting room outside the morgue, the doctor tells Buffy that Joyce died of an aneurysm suddenly and painlessly. Left alone with Buffy, Tara tells her about her own mother who died when she was 17, and she went through something similar. Dawn goes alone to the morgue to see Joyce's body. While she is in there, one of the bodies, now a vampire, gets up. After noticing Dawn does not come back, Buffy goes to look for her and finds her in the morgue being attacked by the vampire. Buffy fights and kills the vampire. The sheet falls from Joyce's face. Looking at their mother, Dawn asks where she went as she touches out to touch her cheek. There we go. Okay, so there's a lot to get through. So
Indeed.
specifically,
Where do we start?
Jesus.
He's not in this episode.
So there's a lot to get through. First off, Sarah Michelle Gellar gives an amazing performance in this episode. The scene where
A lot of good performances all
I mean,
over.
everybody does.
Even Joyce. Good performance for
Oh,
her. Good
Okay,
performance for just
So-
everyone here.
Joyce having to lay there with her eyes open and just be dead, literally did that. There was like one moment where they had to remove her blinking with CGI.
Yep.
Otherwise, that's 100% legitimate,
Yeah.
which is really cool. There's so much to get through. Okay, so there's an interesting analysis of the episode that kind of takes into account each of the characters' different reactions, being a different stage of grief. So, where did I have that here? So Buffy is denial, and then I forget. Willow and Xander are rage, anger, and helplessness. Anya is childlike and innocent, and it's a really cool theory that you should all go read. So let's talk about Willow and Tara.
Sure.
So there's this great scene where Willow's trying to find the right shirt to wear.
I mean, what do you wear?
Yeah. And she's like, she's going through and she's like, I don't remember the exact line, but she's like, why are all my clothes stupid or whatever? Why can't I dress like a grown-up? Which is where Tara kisses her. Which is the first time we've seen them kiss on the show.
On screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, that moment, the network was so against it, it almost led to Joss Whedon quitting the show.
Really?
Yes, because the network had a very strict policy about not showing same-sex couples in any kind of like kissing or anything like that. That almost led to him quitting the show
Yeah, I probably would too.
because it's necessary.
For the shot, yeah. I mean, yeah, they wanted to show love and affection of sorts,
Yep.
you know, in the right context.
The other thing was that that moment was put specifically in this episode because he didn't want to do like a to quote Joss Whedon, a very special episode like they would do on like Happy Days where we're going to talk about AIDS this week. He didn't want to do the lesbian episode.
I see.
So it was put in there as a way to A, the network can't force you to cut it because it's so crucial, and B, they can't promote it as the lesbian kiss episode. Because you'll notice in the promo I showed you, they don't mention it at all.
No, that's true, yeah. Out of all the particular scenes, that one was not included with what they decided to pick.
No. I also love the way it's done, though. Because it's not done, like... So this aired in 2001, where if you were to do that type of an episode in 2001, it 99% of the time it would have been done as a way to titillate the audience, or for shock value.
Yeah.
Here, it's not done that way at all.
Because it's not the focus of the episode.
No, not at all.
It's simply kind of to build with the reaction of the two characters within that scene and how they're sort of dealing with the situation.
It's like, yeah, how do you deal with two characters who love each other have to comfort each other.
Yeah.
In that sort of sense is...
Regardless of, that they're the same sex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so well done, and it's just such a great performance from both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And, so Alison Hannigan, who plays Willow, is routinely very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
We don't talk enough about Amber Benson, who plays Tara. And she's so good in this. But she doesn't get the big scene that's just kind of like... She doesn't get the big crying scene. She doesn't get the big, emotional scene. She just kind of has to be, the rock for everybody in this
For most
episode.
cases, yeah.
I mean, she was there with Buffy, when they were just waiting.
Yeah, where she's just talking about her mom and stuff. That's
Right.
really good.
It's kind of a person that's been through this sort of experience and trying, again, to be the rock for almost everyone that's going through all this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's super well done, and it's just a really great performance that's really understated, and I don't think enough people talk about it.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of moments for each character in this episode.
Yeah, everybody gets their moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like Xander. And
Yeah, Xander gets to punch
Anya
the wall.
even.
Anya has one of the
the
best moments.
Yes.
One of the best, just
Yeah, really.
to try and understand the situation from everything that she sort of had to experience.
Yeah, so Anya basically has this whole speech about how she doesn't really understand death because she's barely a human at this point. She's human, but she hasn't been human that long.
True. From her case being teenager, most likely with her age, of when she first became a demon, and then living for thousands of years, living as a demon, then coming back to being a human.
And effectively being immortal. To her, nobody fucking dies because all of her friends are demons and they're basically immortal. So, her having to actually, confront death is, this really amazing... She gets a really, really, really good monologue.
She can no longer have fruit punch. And all that.
Xander puts his fist through the wall because, again, he's angry.
Yeah.
And blames the doctors for not catching it, even though,
Nah.
it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So... did you have anything you wanted to add, Justin? I know you listened to the commentary track for this episode as well.
Yeah, I did. I just love the part when, Lynch was talking about,
Lynch? Are you going back to Twin Peaks here?
not Lynch, what's his name right now?
Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon, oh boy. I got the names mixed up terribly. I feel bad. Where, Joss Whedon was like, he was talking about the scene where we're cutting away from reality, thinking everything will be all better.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you mean everyone would want to think this would be the case in these sort of situations, but we need to show you the reality too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that moment reprieve where you think everything will be okay, and then it hits you so much harder when it isn't.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And I think within the episode they do about 3 or 4 of those ones. The first one at the start with them at the Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving dinner sort of thing, and just as the pie drops, it snaps back to reality.
I assume that was something that actually happened, but during Christmas or something.
Yeah, it's a flashback. It's meant to be this actually happened. And
This was the times that it was better.
Yeah.
Where everyone
before
was happy
Joyce
together.
was the
Okay,
body.
so the first one would have been where they were trying to resuscitate her with the paramedics, and she supposedly comes back as a miracle. Then it snaps back.
I do have a thing to mention about the part where the credits are going over the dinner and stuff. He did mention that if he were to redo that scene, he would probably have Joyce in the scene more.
Yeah. Because she's kind of barely
in
in
the
it.
background.
Yeah, true. But again, we also learn about Santa. He's real.
He just doesn't normally bring presents. Mostly disembowels children.
The only happy moments in the episode.
There's a few. Buffy gets a couple of good jokes in. Early in the episode. There's the joke about the band candy.
Oh yeah, they did
yes.
mention band candy again.
Yeah, where she's talking to Joyce and Giles. And she's like, as long as you stay away from the band candy, I'm good with anything.
I kind of forgot about that. I kind of overlooked that again.
Yeah. Also, there's no recap at the beginning of this episode. There's no, because normally, at the time, they would have done, previously on Buffy, da-da-da-da happened. That doesn't happen here.
Yeah.
No, well, I mean, it just showed the last scene of the last episode that played.
Yeah. Yeah. So, there. The actress who plays Joyce was told in season 3 that her character would be killed.
Okay.
2 years later, her character actually died.
It's like, oh boy, is this the episode actually... No?
No, that's not going to happen for a few years.
It's like, oh boy, I have a brain tumor. Is this when I'll die? No.
Oh, okay. I survived.
I guess I survived the search. Oh, now I'm dead.
Now I die.
Yep.
Fine.
Oh.
Yeah, it was at the end of season 3. Sarah Michelle Gellar was actually against the idea of killing Joyce. She thought it was just wasn't, I guess didn't like it or thought it was a wrong decision.
A little bit too hard of a punch.
It doesn't go into detail, it just says that she was against the decision and she fought against it, but I mean, I think it's necessary.
I don't know where the plot's heading from this point in terms of things, because now we don't have Joyce anymore. We don't have the mother. We don't have her looking after Dawn. So
Yeah, it's almost like somebody else will have to become the mother.
like, I don't know, maybe Giles?
Yes, Giles is going to be both the mother and the father. No, it forces Buffy to become more of an adult.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I can see that. For sure.
Yes. Spike does not appear in this episode, making it his only non-appearance in the series since becoming a regular in season 4. Because there's no way you can put Spike in this episode.
Especially with everything that kind of happened within the last episode.
Yeah, where he was going to make a Buffy bot.
Yes.
He may be a teensy bit busy. For bad reasons.
He's overlooking the plans, the project for making a Buffy bot. While this is happening.
Okay.
But I think even more than that, would he have helped in any sort of way with this? Because
No.
on one hand he cares, but still it's the case that Buffy
don't-
doesn't like him.
I don't think he would provide any sort of help to this episode.
No, there's no way that you can put Spike in here. Because, like, how do you insert Spike?
Nah, it's not
Sure.
really much
This episode
why.
takes place over a very short amount of time. And there's no way you can get Spike in there and have it be natural and have it be of any value.
Yeah.
Because,
Very
like,
true.
Spike at this point is, like, the annoying pervert.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And he's mostly, like, he's technically a villain, but he's a funny villain.
Yeah, comedic.
Yeah, like, we don't think
He's
of
a
Spike as a
harmless
threat.
villain for the most part.
Yeah, like, he tries to be scary, but, I mean, it's Spike. He's got a chip in his head right now.
It's about as scary as someone popping on and going, boogie woogie.
I don't know, that might be spookier. Because honestly, I mean, Spike literally can't do anything.
But we did have the one naked vampire.
Yes, so there's the one vampire that Buffy kills with the surgical saw.
So apparently it could kill by decapitation?
Yes.
That's one of the typical rules.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I kind of forgot.
Which is kind of a more brutal kill than we would normally see on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, they don't go for, like, the decapitation, and it's quite, like, you're right up in there, and it's...
I mean,
It's quite
she didn't
visceral.
have, like, a stake with her, I guess.
Yeah, very
in
true.
this
Out
sort
of most of the surgical
situation.
tools there wasn't anything that would have probably sufficed fairly well as a stake. So,
Yeah, no, it was the only thing there, but it's interesting that they... Like, obviously, it's done for a reason. Because Buffy's a, like, heightened emotion, so she, like, kind of takes it out on that vampire. By killing them a little more brutally than normal. Yes, so... let's do some international titles.
oh boy.
The body.
In Portuguese, yes, it's the body.
Gotcha.
In French, I actually like the French title. Because I think it's really interesting. The French title is Orphans. Even though it's not technically correct. But, you know, sneaky. Well, because they technically do have a father still.
Yeah, that's true. But still,
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't
kind of the
have
case
a
of...
Oh, no, it's a great title. And I
Yeah.
kind of wish it was called that. But, I mean, the body is a real good one. Actually, in Portuguese, I misspoke. It's This Body.
Oh, this body.
And in German, it's Death of a Mother. Which is a little on the nose.
Okay, too much on the nose. I mean, that's...
Well,
Yeah.
I suppose it's the case of there was something that happened with Joyce in the last episode, so it would make sense that it was someone.
But, like, we haven't met anybody else's mother.
Yeah, true.
Have we? Not Xander.
Yeah,
Not
no.
Willow.
No.
Not Tara.
Yeah, no, she
Wait, no,
did.
not Xander's mother?
Not,
Yeah, no, not Xander's
Okay,
mother, no.
maybe not.
We don't. I don't think we ever meet Xander's parents.
Yeah, no.
I guess it's just talked about randomly.
Yeah, we hear them shouting in the background, but we don't actually meet them.
Okay. Yeah.
Nope, Joyce is the only mother, so...
Yep.
Was.
Okay, so do either of you have any questions about where we're headed, or anything else you wanted to add about this episode?
In my case, it's mostly kind of a case of... Since this is the second time I was shown this episode, it brought back a couple particular feelings that I was feeling at the time of first watching this episode, as well as some additional thoughts. But worst of all, it was just kind of having an additional bit of comedic flair that came to my mind, where other particular scenes came in. It's like, oh, here's a funny thing to try and remember instead of going through all of this nice, wonderful slog.
A nice, wonderful slog. Alright, that's the way to put it.
I do have one other little tidbit I wanted to throw in. So the scene where Willow's obsessing over what to wear is something that Joss Whedon actually took from real life.
Yeah.
He had to go to a friend's funeral, and he was obsessing over what tie to wear. And he ended up using that for Willow's scene there.
Which is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's such a cool little thing that he just kind of was like, hey, wait a minute. I'm like,
I don't want to wear this pink tie. You look like a weirdo.
I don't want to
I don't want to look at a weirdo and stand out.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I need a black tie that will work. Why does this black tie have skulls on it? Why did I even get
Why
it?
is this black tie? Why is this tie have Santa on it? I can't wear this. It's not even Christmas.
Yes. So, we're going to talk about a little bit of the reception of this episode.
Oh,
Okay,
boy.
sure.
Which we don't normally do, but I figured
mean, it's understandable for this episode because things.
it is
did
literally
happen.
the most important episode of the series.
Yes, I understand that.
So, critics praised the episode and continue to count it as one of the finest episodes of television ever broadcast. Well, we'll get into some other critics later. But the New York Daily Times commends the acting abilities of Sarah Michelle Gellar, Michelle Trachtenberg, Alison Hannigan, and Amber Benson as Emmy-worthy. It will also haunt you, but not in the normal way, still associated with this still evolving, still achieving series. Okay, here's one of my favorite quotes. If you watch this incredible episode and don't recognize it as great TV, you're hopeless. A fantasy show that delivers the most stark and realistic take on death I've ever seen. Deftly depicting how a loved one who dies suddenly becomes the body. So yeah, basically it has been continually looked on as one of the best episodes of television ever produced, and I can't really disagree. It is a fantastic piece of work that... I mean, if I was an English teacher, I would be teaching this in class. This is that good.
That's definitely understandable. I questioned when you would throw this out at any particular student. When
First day.
First day. Okay, everybody.
We're gonna watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Oh, that sounds like fun. Oh no.
We're watching The Body.
We're watching this episode. Don't worry, tons of laughs. Oh no.
You're just
Make sure to provide a box of tissue for each and every student.
Here's your tissue for the year. Your tissue.
I need more tissues.
Just with the particular line, if you have any issues, here's a tissue. Just say that and you hand that out to people. Any issues for the year, here's a tissue.
Yes. So, if neither of you have anything left to add about the body, we'll talk about where we're going next week. So, next week, we'll be talking about the episode Forever.
Like forever or forever?
Forever.
Forever.
The Scooby Gang attends Joyce's funeral, and Angel visits to pay his respects.
Whoa, Angel's in this episode?
He will pop up in this episode.
Whoa.
Oh boy.
The day after the funeral, Dawn attempts to bring her mother back to life.
Oh,
also,
boy.
Glory learns that the key is now in human form.
Oh boy.
I wonder
the
who
multiple
Dawn's going
boys.
to turn to for help with that.
Ben?
No.
Glory?
She's going to turn to Willow.
Oh boy.
And that will be an important plot point in season 6.
More so.
It's almost like they're setting things up for season 6.
Gonna delve into some
Resurrection.
necromancy.
So, if neither of you have anything left to add, that will be it for the body.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. So, until next time, I'm Paul.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Justin.